Hey guys, it's Troy here, and today I'm sharing part 1 of my list for the top 20 custom tracks of Mario Kart Wii in 2018. Every track on this list was created in 2018 or received massive updates this year. If you haven't seen my top 50 custom tracks of 2017, I will have a link at the top of the description, so I urge you to check that out to see the best custom tracks from years past. I will be pulling a lot of info from the custom Mario Kart Wiiki, so I can be accurate with my facts in this video. I'll put the link to that in the description as well. Okay, since we're already a third way through this track, let's get started. This is Dawn Township, made by GU, and it is his 4th custom track. This track tries to encapsulate the atmosphere of medieval fantasy towns from manga. Even though the track is only a single lap, it's divided into 3 parts. The first, as you saw so far, leads you to a town section via a waterfall. The second part, which is where we're at right now, is where the bulk of the architecture lies, as you weave through the town, passing by buildings, bridges, a fountain, more waterfalls, etc. And section 3, near the end of the race, has an entirely different feel to it. It feels like you're on a brand new track, honestly. There's icy road you must maneuver through along with a mountain shortcut that can win or lose you the race if you're gutsy enough to risk it. And the very end is where the crystals lie at the finish line. Just past these boost panels, and one last long straightaway is where the icy section is, with part 3 and the mountain shortcut I was talking about earlier, which I'm attempting right now. Section 3 of the level is one of the better sections. Some of the middle parts in section 2 are just a bit empty. Track is too wide. However, a track being too wide is much better than a track being too narrow and claustrophobic. Overall, very good track. We're moving on to Christmas Wish number 19, also remade by GU. Interestingly enough, this track was created all the way back in 2013 by MKWLH1000, but GU made some massive overhauls to the level in 2018. The first thing I noticed when I played this track was the mini-map shape. It's a Christmas tree, perfect timing to release the video since we just had Christmas. And this track isn't in CTGP yet, so many of you won't actually be too familiar with it, or maybe you've never heard of it at all. Some of the biggest differences I noticed: its overall setting from the 2013 version. It's very dark in the new version and is dimly lit by some lamps that line the track as opposed to the old version, which despite having a night sky was very bright. I like the change, however. A few parts are a little confusing on where to drive when playing it for the first time because it's so dimly lit. Now, I absolutely love the knockdown candy canes functioning as ramps, the present shortcut is clever, and the Christmas tree shaped boost panels are a nice touch. There's lots of shortcuts on this level, and I'm demonstrating them right now. That's probably my favorite one, where you land on the little ramp right there, little wooden ramp. And overall, very nicely themed. Gotta love the little fire pits as well. Very fun track. We're on Festival Town number 18. Author is Wii Luigi, and it was his 14th custom track. Now, this track technically came out in 2017, but has received massive updates thanks to the help of Spy Kid, Redefi, and Kanto Epic, which took place all in 2018, which is why I'm counting it in the 2018 video. The 4 sections of this track include a marketplace, the main town area, another smaller town area, and ends with a park where a chain chomp roams free. This track is smooth, very MKW tech-friendly ramps, and sticky road in all the right places. Festival Town honestly is beautiful. The shadowing on town tracks always looks so good. I really wish Concord Town got a texture overhaul to look as good as Festival Town does. Anyway, this track would be in the top 10, but 2 things that really irk me about it are one of the ramps where you low trick it, you automatically die, and sometimes there's not arrows after some of the slopes, which can be a bit of a problem. Still a very good track, and it's the perfect length, plus I've had some really fun races on it. We're on number 17 now, Autumn LEAVESWAY. I played this one in Troy vs. Custom Track, so a lot of you will be familiar with it. This was made by Spy Kid in 2012, but it got completely revamped by Spy Kid again and Redefi this year. This track is very clearly themed off of Maple Treeway, to an extent. Has kind of like an Animal Crossing spin to it. You even pass by a church while you're driving through the town. This track is one of the most difficult in all of CTGP in my opinion, with unforgiving ramps, fall boundaries, edges, off-road, bats, and more. I have raged on this track more than any other track in recent memory, honestly, and I do have many problems with this track. I do want to compliment it though, on feeling extremely unique and having some very fun elements too. And one of my favorite parts is the ending. Despite it being a very long straightaway, it still has an interesting feel to it. Just the platforms slowly making you fall down to the ground is awesome. The U-turn also is extremely satisfying to execute mini turbos on, and it just has spectacular theming all in general. Gothic Castle is number 16, also a Spy Kid track with the help of SCYE, I think it's Sai and Yumi. Hope I pronounced your guys' names right. But Gothic Castle sounds a little misleading, but according to the wiki, Gothic was meant to be referred to as the style of medieval art and not the Gothic culture itself with this track. This track is only 2 laps, so it's a little bit longer. And it begins in a cathedral where you spiral up to the top, facing obstacles including hovering fireballs, brutal right angle turns, narrow corridors, some medieval knights, where you eventually make your way outside to a more traditional lava-themed area, mainly comprised of boost panels and fire pillars. It all ends with some burning thwomps you must dodge to reach the end goal. This track stresses me out more than most, to be honest. The ending is cluttered and it feels like there's no room to breathe. However, I really feel accomplished when I do pull off a first place on this one. I'd say my favorite part of the track is actually the spiral, because despite it being massive, it's unique to any other spiral on any of the other custom tracks. And it's surprisingly fun, and honestly, I'm not a fan of spirals, so the fact that I like that one means a lot. And as you can see at the end, here are the burning thwomps. There's also one more ramp, a little mini shortcut over there, kind of pointless, but the ramp at the beginning, straight ahead of me, that one very much has a purpose. You should take that ramp every time. Okay, we are on Crash Team Racing Blizzard Bluff. This track was completed by Mr. E99 not even a week ago at the time of uploading this video. It originated on Crash Team Racing, and I think the trend has continued regarding CTR tracks. They all fit really well with Mario Kart Wii, which makes me happy to say. I'm super stoked on the CTR remake. Would definitely be down to make some videos for that game. Let me know if you want to see that in the comment section below. And let's talk about Blizzard Bluff. Very friendly track. There's nothing here that's gonna ruin your day. It's going to be about your dynamic with the other racers and not your battle against the track when you play this one. I like that a lot. Races on this track will be very item dependent, and item skill and manipulation is one of my favorite parts of this game, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this one a lot. I love planning out how to utilize stars and gold mushrooms to their full potential. Minimap looking will be extremely important on this track because he who dodges the shock on this one will win the race. Guarantee it. It's got some cool shortcuts too, as I'm demonstrating right now. And just like that, we are on GCN Dry Desert, originally on Mario Kart Double Dash, and we finally have a version of this track in Mario Kart Wii that does it justice thanks to Redefi and H. Lorenzi. Although it appears to be more like the Double Dash version of this track opposed to the Mario Kart 8 version, it still has textures implemented from the Mario Kart 8 version. This is most definitely a Magic User track. They dominate here in Worldwides, and that's completely fine with me. It's fun to have a couple off-road oriented tracks to spice things up, kind of like how the Nintendos have Shy Guy Beach and Sherbet Land. Also, one thing to note for the retros is I'm not only ranking them on how well they are remade by the creators, but also how these tracks translate to Mario Kart Wii. So the creators do a wonderful job, and they can only do so much to modify these tracks to fit Mario Kart Wii. It's a near flawless remake of Dry Desert. I still enjoy it more on Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart Double Dash than I do on Mario Kart Wii. Okay, Lava Rocks. We have another track by Giyu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It might be Jiyu. I'm pretty sure it's Giyu. But anyway, I really enjoyed this one. Great track length, and it feels like Grumble Volcano's younger brother, I'd say. It may be missing some originality with its theming. You guys will see in the top 10, the tracks often have scenery which is unique specifically to the custom tracks. My only gripe, honestly, with the track is there's this bright sun beating down on the course, yet it is textured so dark. If the track had some light to it, it'd help immensely. My favorite part has to be the wide open section where you can see on the right of the minimap by looking over to the side. There's a lot of routes and shortcuts in that area, and I love the variety. Non-linear segments are probably my favorite part of the Nintendo tracks, to be honest, and it's what's missing in Mario Kart 8 a lot of the times. I love segments like the dock in the middle of Delfino Square or like the beginning of Jar Jar Ruins. This kind of gives me shades of that for sure. And here is one of the cool shortcuts you can do in the level on the far right side of the open section. By using multiple mushrooms, you can take it very inside. You will have to traverse through some weird terrain in order to do so, but a very satisfying shortcut to pull off. 3DS Piranha Plant Slide, let's go. This was finished only last month by Atlas. I really didn't think this track would ever work correctly in Mario Kart Wii based on previous iterations. But Atlas, you proved me wrong, dude. It plays phenomenal now. Also, shouts to Cottony, Luke Chandler, and Spy Kid for making some updates to improve the track even further. The Koopa Cape-esque feel to it is a real treat to drive in the beginning. And the edges are extremely forgiving in the sharp turn section before the underwater part, which I'm very thankful for. And overall, it gives exciting races. Anything can happen at the end. The Goombas along with the Epic Goomba cardboard cutouts pose a real threat on the S-bend for the racers in the front of the pack. And this is the last track of part 1. I would very much appreciate it if you would drop a like if you made it this far. I'm going to continue to bring you guys the best Mario Kart content I can in 2019 and just keep doing what I love. So thank you for all support this year. It means a lot, guys. Okay, so Sneaky, you're gonna see this name a lot in the next episode, and DS Airship Fortress, man, it's a fan favorite. It's not one of my favorites, but I think this is a near perfect recreation of the Mario Kart 7 version of Airship Fortress. I don't think this track gives the best races in any of the 3 games I've played it in, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7, and Mario Kart DS, but very fun track nonetheless, and it has some of the best theming. You can't deny that. Airship Fortress theming is next level. Alright guys, that concludes part 1. Thank you so much for watching. I will bring you part 2 tomorrow. We'll round out the top 10. Lots of surprises there. Some tracks that aren't even in CTGP yet, so be on the lookout for that. Comment below on what was your favorite track of these 10 and why you felt that way. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Enjoy Funky Kong dancing, and peace.